Hey guys, so today was a crazy day, and I still have another crazy day tomorrow, and it's like 10, it's 11, almost 11 o'clock at night right now, so this is gonna be like a one-take video. So the first thing I did was MUN. I woke up really early this morning, but not for school. I got on a bus. It sounds a lot like school, but it wasn't. And I went down to the city for the Global Classrooms International Model United Nations Conference. And yesterday we went to the actual UN building. We got to sit in the General Assembly built room for the opening ceremonies, which was really cool. But then today we were at the Grand Hyatt Hotel for the committee sessions. And this year this is my second year doing Model United Nations. And this year I'm in the United Nations Development Program, which me and my partner deliberately picked for the purpose of having a small committee. Like, there's only 53 people in it, and last year I was in a 253 people committee. There's advantages and disadvantages to having such a small committee, and the disadvantage is that it's very easy for people to kind of form different blocks and factions. And so because of that, I wound up in a group of people that was kind of like the most loosely held together group. Like, there was a bunch of people, it was big, but there was not like a unified resolution that was created. And so I was the kid who sat down with I'm the delegation of Russian Federation, and I sat down with the delegation of Brazil and the delegation of Norway, which we don't really sound like a group that belongs together, but we're all high-income countries, I guess. And we wrote a resolution, which was difficult and interesting and exciting and fun, and yeah. But in the process of that, I learned two things, so I guess I'm going to give you 4 lessons. One was that the United Nations Development Program, the UNDP cannot go into another country unless invited by them. So, like, if there's United Nations aid, if there's UNDP aid in some sort of developing country, that country's government has to have approved the UNDP entering it. So you can't just kind of be like, oh, there's people who are starving, we have to go help you. They petition to, the government invites them. Government says, we have starving people and we need you to do something about that. And so if the government doesn't want to help its starving people, it's really difficult for the UNDP to get people on the ground, and they have to kind of go through NGOs and private sector funding, which is really, I didn't know was a thing. I thought the UNDP could just help whoever they wanted to help. So that was really interesting. The other thing I learned was that collaborating with people is difficult, because they can be really stubborn and adamant in their ways, especially because this is a Global Classrooms International conference. There's sometimes like a language barrier, which is like just people have different ways of wording things. Like, the one person really wanted a sexual education clause, but between the language barriers, it was kind of like people were saying sexual reproduction, and then the phrase like sexual orientation came out, and it took a long time for us to understand what the idea actually was, just because of the differences in our syntax and the phrases we use to describe things. So I thought that was really interesting. The next part of my day was coming home on the bus, but then I got home, and as soon as I got home, I had like 10 minutes to gather myself before I had to get in the car and go to NYSSMA, which the second time around. And I learned how much fun NYSSMA can be if you just don't care about it. Because for my jazz vocal NYSSMA, my director told me, or like, yeah, I guess he's my director, the guy who I was working with told me, have fun with it, do whatever you want. I mean, like, no boundaries, don't let yourself be restricted, just have fun with it. But, and this was the big one, don't drop down, stay in your head voice the entire time, don't switch registers, because you'll get torn apart for breath support. And so I was like, yeah, okay, sounds good, I can handle that. So I did exactly that every time we practiced, and then I got in the room to perform, and just in the first 4 measures of the song, I dropped down, and I was like, fudge. And so I just kind of, like, I was like, it shook me up for like another 3 measures, and then I was like, okay, you just gotta push past it, it's fine. Just have fun with it. And so then when I got to the rest of the song, it was just like, it was the most fun NYSSMA experience I've ever had before. I had a good time. And that it served as a great segue to my senior year, which is going to be recreational NYSSMAs. Like, I'm going to do a level 4 xylophone, and I'm done with all states, and yeah, it was nice to learn that all state can be not just stressful, but also a lot of fun. Not that it's not fun when I'm doing it in the stressful way, like, I love singing arias, but it's just, that was a different kind of fun. And then, here's the last lesson. I promise this video is almost over. After I sang my NYSSMA song, we got in the car, and we drove for an hour, and on, like, the New York State Thruway, and, like, Route 17, and, like, busy roads, and it was terrifying, and my dad made me drive it. And that was my first time driving on the highway, and I learned 2 things from that. One, I learned how to get my father's heart rate up to 220 beats per minute, which I don't think that's actually true, but it was a stressful experience for us both. But I also learned that I will not kill everyone around me when I am driving on the highway. And thus concludes, I don't know how long this is, your very long lessons. I don't know why my videos have been so long recently. I'm not actually doing anything on Sunday, I'm just seeing a bunch of shows, so I'll teach you nothing. And that'll be a nice way to break up these terribly long videos. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video now. Nice talking to you. See you on Sunday. Bye.